Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome to Mechabellum, which is basically Robot Wars. In fact, you can literally translate the name of the game into Robot Wars. Though, speaking of which, I don't entirely appreciate the blending of mecha from the Greek with bellum from the Latin, but I guess we'll let that slide. And this here today, as is hopefully very obvious indeed, is a sponsored video, because Mechabellum is published by Paradox, though not actually developed by them. And Paradox's giant dump truck full of money was passing through my neighbourhood this week, so why the flip not? So, what we've got here is a strategy game that's a little bit turn-based and a little bit real-time. So let's just, dive in, because this game's got that lovely quality where it's pretty easy to get your head round, but bloody hell is it difficult to master. So, welcome to the battlefield, because yes, this is very literally a game of two halves. Right now we're in the deployment phase, where basically you very cautiously consider how to deploy your troops, what reinforcements you need, etc, etc. So, you come up with a really cunning plan, and then you hit the end deployment button. At which point, we enter the explosion phase, and what I really rather like is, that's also the point where you just get to take your hands off the controls, sit back in your armchair, and enjoy the chaos. Because that's the point when the computer takes over. You lay out the troops, but as soon as the fight begins, they just start moving forward, finding targets as best they can, and scrapping it out while you just cheer from the sidelines, and I really like that, because it means, unlike, say, an RTS, where victory is often determined by incredibly intricate micromanagement of individual units, in this game, victory is a result of coming up with a really good cunning plan, and then you just get to sit back and watch the computer execute it, which I just absolutely love, because it turns the game into such a spectacle. So, speaking of which, let's figure out, yes, what plan it is I'm going to be executing today. So, you start off with just a tiny handful of troops, okay? This is round one, so the battle's still pretty damn small scale. These are my fangs. Basically, think Marines in StarCraft, if you know that game at all. Nice, reliable, all-round infantry units who can shoot on the ground or in the air. They're very versatile, but they're not really that strong. They're just a crowd of competent enough light-armed troops. And then at the front, we've got something very different. The Sledgehammer, my heavy tank. So these guys will annihilate heavily armoured units, but they probably wouldn't do very well against Fangs, because the Fangs would simply be able to swarm them. So yes, we've got to factor that in when we're deploying them. My opponent, meanwhile, has started off with, yes, a couple of groups of crawlers. Basically, basic light melee infantry. They're going to try and run up to me and very literally drill me in the face. So yes, they're actually a brilliant answer to my tanks. And the steel ball is a nice fast-moving response to heavily armoured units. They're going to charge up to what's in front of them, and they're going to start using a beam that gets stronger as time goes by. So okay, my starting move is fairly simple. Naturally, I need my fangs to eat the damage. My tanks have got to be kept nice and safe at the back. And just as I'm deploying my lads, the enemy's going to do the same. They're probably going to deploy in a nice line too. I would say yes, given I also start off with a tiny bit of money down here, how about we send out a couple more fangs? So yeah, just deploy a couple of them, that's all the money I've got. So we're just going to have a really big line of infantry at the front. The tanks I'm going to move a tiny bit further back, just to make sure they don't accidentally end up on the front line, though. Just check the effective range, 95 meters versus 80. So okay, they should naturally come to a pause behind the infantry anyway. So, okay. That's what we can do for now. Let's kick off the murder fest and see who's going to win the first round, because this is not the entire fight. This is just, basically an initial skirmish, if you will. So, deploy and... he sent out... okay, those are sniper bots. So those are going to do well against my infantry, because they can only shoot one at a time. This is perfect. Their high-value units are getting bogged down by a swarm of infantry. Over on this side, right, as I was hoping for, my tanks are taking apart the steel balls, while my infantry are taking apart the tiny robots. So this should be going pretty well. Over on this side, my tanks are moving forward, my tanks are safe at the back, my tanks are safe at the back, and that's what I needed to happen. So my tanks disabled the steel balls, he sent out some snipers as well, and we're advancing very slowly, because yes, my army is extraordinarily slow. But snipers may hit hard, but they've got basically zero health, so... okay, I have won the first skirmish. Any surviving units hit the overall health bar of the losing team. But given there was barely anything on the field, that barely even matters. This is where things get interesting. So, step 1, start of every round, you have a choice of, yes, either taking an upgrade that can be for your entire army, one particular type of unit, or something you can plug into one unit. I'll take intensive training, yes, just to help my units level up a bit faster, because they are gaining XP as they go. But yes, this is the big thing right here, which is, you may notice, every unit that was just on the field is now back on the field. We're about to run that fight again. But this time, of course, my opponent knows where I'm deploying my troops, and I know where he's deploying his. Now they've been deployed there, they can't move anymore. But, down the bottom right, I've got some additional money. More money than I had in the first round. Every round that passes, you get more and more money. So basically, the fights get exponentially bigger every round. Which I find absolutely delightful, because if a fight goes on long enough, bloody hell, this game turns into nonsense. So step 1, reevaluate what my opponent has got deployed. So yeah, the steel balls up front, his little robots at the back, and also snipers. Because that's a thing both sides can do. We can choose one unit to add to our roster every round. Cheap units, like say the crawlers he's using, if I want to get them into my army, that's fine, unlock them for free. However, more expensive units, yeah, they're going to cost a bit up front to get out onto the field. So think very carefully about what you want to do, because I'd say yes, the biggest weakness in my army we just spotted, even though I did win that fight, was mobility. Infantry is slow. Tanks are slow. Crawlers, however, like he's actually using right now, are really bloody fast. And yes indeed, snipers are going to do a terrible job against crawlers, because crawlers are a big swarm of enemies. Snipers can only be shooting one of them at a time. Crawlers are also going to do really well against the steel balls, so okay. Deploy 2 crawlers immediately, and they're going to be at my new front line. So hang about, how fast are you? 60 meters a second. Okay. What I need is for you to actually be further back, because you will overtake these guys. Now, you may notice, I've got some change left over, but my deployment panel is greyed out. You can only deploy 2 units per round. Unless, of course, pay some money at your command center over here, this lovely building, and yes, as a result of that, you can deploy an extra unit, which on this occasion, 100% we're going to do. So yeah, that lets me get an extra unit out, and do I want another Fang, or you know what? No. Another crawler. We are going to spam a huge number of units out on this occasion. So the crawlers are just going to get forward and they're going to keep all these units busy. The snipers are going to be absolutely swarmed. I say that as if, like, you know, the exact same money isn't available to my opponent, who might choose to do the same thing. Now, I was also discussing just a second ago, units are picking up experience as they go. This sledgehammer is moving towards the next level. And yes, I just picked up that intensive training perk, so if I just go over to here, there we go. You've now been topped up to the next level. If I had 100 gold spare, I could now upgrade you, and seriously, upgrading is bloody good. Upgrading basically doubles the strength of the unit. Bear in mind, yeah, getting a new tank out on the field, that costs 200. Making this existing tank twice as strong, only 100. So every round, you've got difficult decisions to make. Do you want to spam units, make the existing units better? There are just so many choices, but I'm feeling good about this layout. These tiny crawlers are going to do a good job. So deploy, and he sent out more snipers. Good. Good. So my crawlers are now just charging forward. They're going to be eating a lot of fire. Over on this side, yeah, these guys can't do anything to me. Crawlers are going to annihilate these bastards while my tanks move into position. Over here, the crawlers have kind of got a bit caught up on, yeah, the steel balls. But the balls are going to be going down in no time whatsoever. Then my tanks can move over here, because the snipers are useless against, yeah, basic infantry. Over on the left, things are going very, very well indeed. Yeah, once again, my army is just so bloody slow. But the crawlers, they bought enough time to take out the snipers. Next sniper goes down. Boom. And now we're doing a lot more bloody damage to you, aren't we? Okay. That worked pretty bloody well. So, speed specialist. Increase movement of all units by 3. Gonna cost me 100 to buy that, but screw it, I'm taking it. So yes, that leaves me with only 500 gold to invest. But, hang about, you have got yourself, ooh, Okay, I suspect he might have used, yes, one of his cards he's drawing at the same time to deploy a Rhino. So that's a big, tough melee bot right on his front line. He's also, okay, he's doing upgrades, because there's one more thing you can do to units, which is, aside from just upgrading them, like I could to these guys, making them, as you can see, twice as good, you can also buy a unit upgrade. This applies to every single unit of that type on the field, which can make them so powerful, but can also obviously lead you into the trap of over-investing in a single unit type that's a little bit too easy to hard counter. I will say though, 300 gold to make every single one of my fangs move 5 faster and also attack a bit faster. I mean, that is tempting. That is ludicrously tempting. But John, stay focused. He's got a whole bunch of crawlers out and they've just taken a big upgrade. So, right, they're now going to be faster and tougher. Got it. That's what he's done. He's also got, yeah, more snipers. What's maybe a bit more interesting is, yeah, these units, they can only attack ground. The balls, they can only attack ground. Snipers can attack air, but they're kind of stuck in the middle. So, it might be time for me to get airborne. Because a pack of wasps, okay, they can attack ground and air. They are fast and, oh, they could do a good job getting on top of the snipers after sweeping up these units on the side, potentially. So that's what we're going to do. I feel like that's a good answer right now. So, yeah. Just get these guys right on this side. Some of them will take out the balls. Some of them will go for these guys. Put you way over here as well. Then again, if I put them too far forward, the snipers might go for them. I feel like, yes, maybe pulling you back a little bit, that's going to be the better option. So yeah, like way back over here. They'll still get on top of these guys nice and fast, but this will just stop them from drawing the attention of the snipers. So there we go. They're still going to be going in the right direction. That leaves me with 50 change, which is not much, especially as... okay, you know what? Ooh, I can't even afford that. Well, okay, there is one way I could. Yes, there's a very nasty thing you could do with the command center, which is you can give yourself 200 supplies for free. But as a result, next round, you get 300 less. So, I'm going to do it. So, okay, upgrade you. Upgrade you. You are now much tougher because, yeah, there is a level 2 bastard right here who I feel like needs to go down. And that leaves me with 100 change. So let's go over to the research center where, yes, you can spend 100 loose change on a whole bunch of good things. Like, say, boosting attack of all units by 10% or defense of all units by 10% just by boosting their health meters. And given I've got so much chaff, then again, actually, they're still going to die in one hit to snipers. No, let's just boost everything's attack by 10%. And that's now permanent every round forever. Okay, I'm curious how the fighters are going to do here. So deploy the wasps, they fly up and... okay, he moved his rhino over here. And, okay, his lads are now running forward underground. We can see them, they've emerged. And my own guys are getting on top of them. My little gunners are just taking them out. But yes, my wasps have now just come in. They're doing a good job. Over on this side, yeah, once again, my wasps are taking out the steel balls. They're going down, no trouble. So over on the left, we're doing really, really well. Their giant bastard rhino is taking a pounding, but my tanks are going to take him out sooner or later. But more importantly, we're about to knock out one of his buildings. That paralyzes his units, meaning they are slower, less effective, etc, etc. So, okay, his snipers at the back was actually on the move, but my, yeah, wasps are now moving in to take them out. So, okay, bit of a messy fight there, but we still got the win in the end. Okay. And I'm going to take a missile strike for free. So, okay, that's interesting, because what if someone were to say, I don't know, drop that right on top of your units over here. Okay. So what's he got going on right now? Yeah, his crawlers are now underground. So they are bloody fast at the moment. His crawlers are moving at 24 meters a second. They can get on top of my units really bloody easily. Okay, I could give my infantry portable shielding. So yeah, doubles the health of every infantry unit on the field. But more importantly than that, blocks at least one instance of damage, meaning all of a sudden, his snipers and his rhino can't even one-shot my infantry. Okay, so congratulations, guys. You just picked up shielding. And on top of that, we're going to be upgrading you. And we're going to be upgrading you. You're a bit too expensive to upgrade, unfortunately. And yes, I could do the same thing again with, yeah, just borrowing from the future. But it feels like a bad idea. I feel like my infantry should now be able to take a lot of flipping damage. So he's... oh! He started deploying units at the side, which you can do. It leaves them vulnerable for a moment, but steel balls are at the side. That's all absolutely fine. My wasps can take them out. My infantry, meanwhile, are doing a good job. Oh yeah, look at that. Upgraded infantry are tearing these bastards apart. And on top of that, his snipers are useless against, yes, my infantry. They just can't get through the shield. However, looks like, yes, they were able to punch through, take out one of my buildings, so my units are temporarily paralyzed, but it's only going to be for a moment. So, okay, my wasps are now coming in, taking out all of this nonsense. So, okay, we're doing pretty well on one side, but not so good on the other. Looks to me like, oh dear. Okay, we've taken out one of his buildings. Yeah, on the right, they just completely swarmed us. Our wasps are trying to do their best, but the snipers are picking them off. So just, yeah, my wasps take out the sniper on this side. And now we're finally ready to go. We can take out these guys, but yeah, just look at this right now. His rhino is just standing there, beating the hell out of me. So, I mean, that was technically a victory, but, I mean, I'm going to call that more of a tie. And hello, sexy. Units with this item gain 200% bonus power. Oh, now that's interesting, though. Bloody expensive, mines. Okay, you know what? That's too funny not to take. And here we go. There are the steel balls. So my wasps can deal with that, but these guys are now, yeah, deploying off to the side of me. I could do the same thing, but, yeah, given right now he's just got very cheap crawlers guarding his flanks, probably it wouldn't be the best idea. What we should do instead is, yes, consider buying something very expensive and tough, and then just boosting its firepower, like a dumb, stupid amount. Oh, buddy, I think you're about to, yes, significantly regret not investing in anti-air, because crawlers can't deter, and the steel balls can't deter, and the rhino can't deter. Oh, I've got a surprise for you. So, okay. Deploy one overlord, and I want him to be, yeah, over on this side. He can, yeah, as a starting point, just help mop up everything this guy's deploying on this side. And you're deploying rocket launchers, anti-ground rocket launchers. So, okay, obviously, you're getting the dumb powerful ability, which is hilarious. And also, you know what? You're also being upgraded because, oh, this is a really, really dumb decision, but I'm doing it anyway. So, okay, level 2 Overlord with a plus 200% attack power. This thing can attack ground and air. It's sexy as anything. We're also upgrading you, and screw it, I'm borrowing from the future. We're also upgrading my entire front line right there, leaving me with 100 change, which I can use to, yeah, upgrade the tanks. But what I'm really interested in is, yes, this guy. So just get you up in the air and boom, 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 and oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, look, it looks like all your units have exploded. Right, you. I need you to get over here. Oh, he's trying to send crawlers at me. And if we can take them out before they take out my building. And I think we just did. Now this thing can turn its attention to, oh dear, your rhino's dead. And, oh, he's going to try and send snipers at me. But that's fine, because he's not going to go for the ship. He's going to go for whatever's closest. So, my wasps can just walk in, take them out, and, I think we've got his number now. So, okay, a giant bonus 200% damage warship just comes in, and I think we've absolutely cocky destroyed you, buddy. No, this is it. We found the weakness. He doesn't have the anti-air to deal with us, so in which case, okay. What upgrades do you guys have available? So, jump drive, nice and cheap, lets you, yeah, redeploy, which is really good. Everything else can't be redeployed. Producing a constant stream of new wasps. Okay, that's hilarious. Well, I think I know precisely what we're doing, which is, yes, he doesn't have any air. And we can give these guys Overlord Artillery, ground-only cannons, attack every 3 seconds, deals 12,000 damage. Right, we're going to get that in play. And then we're going to borrow from the future. And then we're going to deploy 2 Overlords that also have that exact same ability. This is going to be a slaughter. So yes, he's deploying something like a giant storm of doom is doing damage to my units, unfortunately. Right, he probably drew that card. Get over to here. But I do have my lovely air-to-ground missile just raining down on these bastards. So yeah, over on the left, we're doing just fine. And over on the right, the ludicrous mega weapon is just doing its job nothing can stop it. I mean, in theory, snipers could. Like, the snipers are tearing apart my air force, but it doesn't matter because I've just got so much firepower. In come the rest of them, and that should be the end of it. Good night, Betsy. So, that's your basics. Now, how about, yes, next up, we test our skills against an insane AI. And yes, one other thing too, you can also pick who you're playing as at the very start of the match, which just, yeah, determines what your starting units are and one starting perk. So here we go, how about you over here? Because yeah, marksmen, the snipers, they are pretty good if you use them right, and the Mustang, really good at just mopping up crowds of light infantry. Meanwhile, my opponent has spawned with, okay, you've got steel balls back on the field, and on top of that, the arc light. Basically a very tough little robot that's super good at mopping up crowds. So, okay, this is a good start for him, because my first instinct would be, okay, deploy crawlers to deal with the steel balls, but arc lights will absolutely murder crawlers. On the other hand, my marksman should be able to absolutely slaughter all of this, if I can just keep them busy long enough. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take, yeah, some crawlers and just deploy them just as a wave of chaff to keep these lads occupied while my snipers line up their shots. So, yeah, maybe get just one of them down, but we could also get out another sniper. I mean, I feel like the snipers are actually pretty bloody good in this scenario, but then again, there's nothing to say. He's not going to deploy fangs or crawlers himself. And yeah, one more thing to keep in mind, which is these guys are bloody fast. They all move at, yeah, 16 meters a second. My snipers, meanwhile, are bloody slow. So they're going to want to actually be towards the front. Because, yeah, I don't want them stuck at the back. They need to be getting into the combat pretty bloody soon. So you guys are going to be around about here. That's all absolutely fine. These guys are just going to charge forward, eat a bunch of attacks, and hopefully my snipers can get the shots off. It may work, it may not, I simply don't know. So alright, we've got, yeah, arc lights at the front, and he's also deploying, hang on, that is, yep, crawlers of his own. So my snipers start getting some good shots off, and okay, good. My snipers are doing their jobs right now. So dead ball number 2, take you out again. Okay, the problem is my snipers are going to get swarmed momentarily by these guys, and there's going to be nothing he can do. So, okay. What have we got? We've got 2 snipers on this side, and we're also going to take out this lovely laddie. So in just a moment, there we go. You've been paralyzed. It's okay. They've got a whole bunch of crawlers, 1 steel ball. We're moving towards them. My snipers can do a good job. They're going to take out this building, but that doesn't really matter a huge amount, especially as in just a moment, we're going to be taking out building number 2. So, okay. If we're lucky, yeah, just look how weak my units are when they've been paralyzed. Okay, meanwhile up here in just a moment, the opposite's going to be true because we're about to take out, yeah, that building. Now my Mustangs come down. Crawlers going down too. So, okay. I think we can safely call this one a tie. I think I'm going to then again, actually, you know what? I don't know if I am going to win because they're going to take out this building, meaning my units are going to be paralyzed at the exact moment his remaining crawlers are coming in. So, it depends. You know what? I think he just won on the basis of the paralysis. But honestly, it was pretty much a tie. And, oh, flip me. I will take marksman extended range. So power is down slightly, but, I mean, range of 30. That is bloody huge. Yes, I will take that happily. The snipers did a good job, but we do need a bit more to, yes, maybe mop up the little guys. Then again, that is literally 1 unit of crawlers. Like, some spare Mustangs at the back should be able to deal with that. You know what? I think if I just provided some additional cover for my snipers with a giant pile of crawlers, they could do the job. So I'm going to, yeah, put some of you over here, some of you over here. Honestly, yeah, just a little bit further back than that. That leaves me with 100 loose change. I can also, yeah, spend 50 to boost mobility for this turn only, but it's only by 3. Or increase range of all ranged units by 15. Not bad at all. Or alternatively, okay. If I wanted to deploy more units, I'd need to borrow to do it, given I wouldn't be able to afford the unit after I actually activated mass recruitment. Instead, I'm going to say, yeah, just give me more firepower. So yeah, all we've really done on this occasion is just put a bit more chaff right at the front. So let's see what we've got over here. And, okay, I think you spent all your money upgrading these bastards. So, okay, there's no. You spent your money deploying new units over. Oh, this is bad news. This is really bad news, actually. My sniper's taking on these units, and these guys are taking on these units, and that's really, really bad, actually. Okay. We're doing very well over on the left. Because, yeah, these units are being absolutely annihilated. My snipers are turning their attention over to this side. But, yeah, the sneak attack they just did over on the back right, that is turning out to be vicious. And they're just walking up to my snipers. Oh, this is an absolute flipping slaughter. But we might be able to turn the tables a little bit because the paralysis just kicked in. Meaning, yes, my units can now get right on top of his. And my snipers are just, they're going for the wrong targets. They're going for the wrong targets. This is a bit of a problem. Right, you guys go down. My Mustangs are actually doing a surprisingly competent job here. Okay, I was really hoping maybe my last sniper might survive to be able to take out these bastards. Okay. You know what? I'm going to say once again, this is basically a tie. So, okay. I can drop a Rhino to annoy my opponent. Steel Ball can be cheaper. Fine. Speed Specialist. Yep. Every time take that. Every cocking time. Okay. These were the guys that completely screwed me over right here. We need to deal with them. So I think I know precisely how we deal with that, which is, one, I need more Mustangs, and two, my Mustangs need to be upgraded. If I give my Mustangs high explosive ammo, it actually does make them a tiny bit weaker, but it means they can clear out crowds. So, okay, is that the right thing to do? Oh, I do also have my free Rhino. Sorry, I forgot. Yes, I do get a free Rhino as part of my ability. So, I could send my Rhino to keep these bastards busy for the time being. After that, yeah, he can just walk up north, that's fine. And yeah, some basic lads right here can deal with these bastards. They'll just be able to swarm them, no trouble. So, okay, that should be that flank secure unless he deploys more into it. Meanwhile, what have you got, buddy? You have got haste modules. So, okay. You are basically now faster and stronger, but honestly, I kind of don't care because we can definitely snipe you. In fact, yeah, we'll definitely go for that right now, just to increase the strength of my snipers. Lovely. I need an answer to these here balls, and I suspect possibly, yeah, the answer is ambush him myself. So, okay. I'm going to do mass deployment. That's going to keep these out of the way, because crawlers should easily be able to handle these bastards. Beyond that, yeah, just upgrade with my last tiny bit of money, and if we're lucky, yeah, we should be A-okay down here. These guys up here should keep these ones busy. So, if we're lucky, they're going to start coming in this direction. Yep, they're coming in this direction. Good. But it's going to take them some time to get there, though it looks like they've got their own crawlers on top of me, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, my crawlers are going to come in. This is going to be sorted out, no trouble. My snipers are now in a much, much better position, which is brilliant. We're taking out his level 3 crawlers right there. There is trouble on this side, but yeah, I've got snipers and a giant Goliath coming in. So my snipers are now way more secure. Okay. This is good. With these guys out of the way, yeah, my snipers are just going to pick these guys apart over on this side. My Goliath is just basically keeping them occupied. Like, they're going to go down, but that's fine, because having taken out this building, okay, we just had a bit of a breakthrough right there. The Goliath did a brilliant, brilliant job. Alright, underground threat, so crawlers consistently emerge. I can use this once every 3 turns. Interesting, but okay, we'll see about that. That would be good on my Goliath. That would be fun in general. So, you know what? That's what we're going to do. We're just going to deploy endless streams of those bastards over here. And with this many of these guys, okay, what can we do to make you guys a bit better? I mean, for just 200 gold, yeah, they attack more regularly. They're a lot faster. Yeah, we're doing it. Mechanical Rage. We've got a fair few crawlers out on the field. That's all absolutely fine. I'm going to deploy extra crawlers onto this side just to, yeah, back up this flank. Because, yeah, anything I can do to stagger his advance towards me gives my snipers time to get into position. So, you're being upgraded as well. Should you be upgraded? Okay, 400 gold left. What I might be able to punish, though, is a lack of air. Because, hang about, the arc light. You're ground only. Okay. I think we can punish that. Let's go for the Phoenix, which is, yes, a very long-range aerial bombardment. And it's very effective at taking out stuff like this. So, okay, you know what? I'm happy to take maybe... How many of these do we have left? Okay, we can deploy one more unit. I'm going to deploy you right at the front. You're pretty fast, but with nothing that can actually deal with you. Yeah, letting you move forward into position nice and quick. Honestly, not a problem. He can just mop up the tough stuff right here. Hopefully, he won't get distracted by the crawlers. That leaves me with 150. Okay. We could go for, yeah, additional range or additional speed or upgrades. And then you are, yeah, 100. That's 100 to upgrade. What's over on this side? Not that much, to be honest. I'd rather have you guys be nice and tough. I think that's going to work pretty well. So, okay, keep an eye on, yeah, both flanks on the right. So you guys are going to be absolutely cocking slaughtered, which is beautiful. I say that. These guys are actually doing a competent job, all things considered. So, okay, these guys have been well upgraded, but they're running over, yes, their own acid that they appear to be spilling. So my snipers are, okay, now my sniper's doing a good job over here. Over on this side, we've got Hangabout. Okay, yeah, we've taken out, thanks to my Air Force, this building. They're temporarily paralyzed. I think, yeah, my snipers are now safe to proceed. Okay. We've got them. We flipping got them. Though they are just tossing more and more stuff at the rear over here. In fact, actually, they were eventually able to break through everything but a single sniper in the back right. Amazing. Okay, for 50, give me another drop of a rhino. I could just dump on top of my enemies because that's cocking hilarious. Dump that right to the back. That'll keep you guys busy. Okay, they are just putting more and more stuff into their crawlers. And seriously, they are dumping ridiculous amounts of material right on the rear back here. Okay, step one, give me additional deployment. And now I could just send more Phoenixes to just basically, yeah, mop up all of this nonsense. So, you buddy. I'd like you to, yeah, just basically assist with mopping up all of this noise. That's absolutely fine. This sniper, you can now be level 3. That's fine. You could be upgraded to level 2 as well. You could be upgraded because your upgrades aren't cheap. Like, do it if you can, basically. I've still got 2 units I could deploy. Okay, we could just put more Air Force over here. I mean, honestly, I feel like the Air Force is doing a competent job right now. So, in fact, actually, what's your anti-air? Do you have any anti-air? Okay, you know what? Let's just mosey you over to this bit of the world. Lovely. No, not there. There we go. Take out the steel balls. I'm just going to put more crawlers down. Like, the crawlers are doing a good job. Basically, if he wants to, yeah, swarm this back end, I'm going to swarm this back end too. That leaves me with 200 left over. In which case, you know what? More range, more speed. Screw you. And here we flipping go. He's deploying the Air Force at this exact moment. He's got the Phoenixes out, and also he's sending out... Oh, blimey, okay. Right, my Phoenixes are about to run into trouble, but my Mustangs can annihilate his Air Force right there, and we are just... Oh, we've annihilated his buildings right now, which is beautiful. Over on the right, the Phoenixes are going to tear apart these guys, and we've annihilated, yes, the incursion on that side. We've taken out this building already. And with that, oh yeah, we've got him. This is over. So there we go. That there is an introduction to Mechabellum. And what I'll say is, it's one of those games that's just really good to just dip into for 10-15 minutes at a time. Like, I found myself coming back to this one. It's just a very strangely compelling. It's got that lovely quality, like I said right at the start, where it's super easy to get your head around what's going on. But yes, there's just a lot of depth to the various unit interactions, especially when the fights do just get exponentially larger with each round. And I just love how particularly challenging rounds just end up being tie after tie after tie until somebody finds a way of engineering a breakthrough. There's a lot here I like. So, far as I'm concerned, worth checking out. Link in the description below. And I'm going to keep my eye on this one. We might see this one again in future because this feels like a really interesting foundation to maybe build something pretty special. So, yes indeed. As I say, watch this space. We might well see this again in future. We shall flipping see. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been Mechabellum. Thank you very much, and goodbye.